Hello everyone. I kind of wanted to do a little casual impromptu party finder improvement video. Seems like half the people over here don't know what they're doing and are sitting in party finder for hours and not getting people, or they are getting in a group and have no idea what's going on, and then the group falls apart because you didn't read or didn't know anything. So here we are. Let's just look at the party finder list real quick, and then we'll get into some once you're inside the instance stuff kind of first. One thing is that you need to know how to list your party finder. First of all, people are over here not listing things correctly. The difference between loot and duty completion. First of all, duty completion is if you're clearing for the first time, or if you don't care about chests. If people look at duty completion and they don't join it. If they are just looking for a 2-chest re-clear, they look for loot. If you don't have a loot as your first one, you will sit there longer for a re-clear. The other thing is that you need to be putting in all of your strategy stuff into the description. Yes, we all get people who don't know how to read and just join random groups. We also get random people who join groups with the party finder strat in description and then try to change what you want to do, even though it's your group. But you need to put everything in there. So let's just take a look here. Let's find some easy. So this one's perfect. It has the exact strat. It has the raid plan for the harvest, because every harvest has a raid plan, what harvest they're doing. That's perfect. Here's a horrible one. Re-clear Sleepo strat. Sleepo strat is only for purgatory. There's 6-7 different ways you can do harvest, and the description doesn't tell you which one it is. No one's going to join that. No one's going to join this re-clear group because it doesn't explain which harvest strat they're using. So that you shouldn't do that. Let's go look at 5. So this is nice. This is a prog group, Ruby 5 prog. They might want to put, can we make it past Devour K Thanks is completely useless. You should probably put what Ruby 5 prog strat you want to use instead. This is good. Actually, no, it's not. They don't have duty complete weekly reward unclaimed, so they're setting their party up for a trap. Roll partners, group 1 left, group 2 right, roll towers. They still need Ruby 5 strategy in the description. See, what are y'all doing? Also, like, these two groups could combine and do the same thing. And then that's just a fresh prog. We'll decide the rest as we go. Well, maybe we should decide ahead of time. Okay, so get your party finder stuff figured out. But inside the instance, we have problems. If this is an arena and the boss is being a boss over there, and you need to do assignments quickly and easily, first use the square markers, don't use the circle markers. For clock spots, main tank is always 1 and off tank is always south. There's very few exceptions to this, and they're on a fight-by-fight basis. In this tier, I haven't seen anything where a tank has any right being in a DPS spot, so you're either north or you're south. Sorry about it. Healers, you're east and west. This game is very role-oriented, and tanks and healers are always paired in a lot of things, offset from DPS. So if you have tanks and healers on cardinals, you usually want DPS on inner cardinals. That seems to be the norm. So if you're a tank and you are on a cardinal and you decide you want to be northeast, sorry about it, buddy. Get back there south where you belong. The DPS need to be on the inner cardinals. And speaking of DPS, melee need to have south priority all the time, always. And the only time that's really not true is fights like P7S, where the boss is always north. It's always in the north part of the arena. You don't want to give melee a job that can have the potential to give them no uptime by having them south. So if there's melee in your group, dancers, machinists, casters, stop taking the south spots. Stop doing it. I know black mages do prefer having a south spot for less movement in a lot of cases, so they can start the pull from the south, and there is an argument to be made for black mages from time to time, but literally nobody else. And healers, east and west, we all have our own priorities, I know, but you need to learn how to do both jobs. They're exactly the same in almost every case, and I know we all have our preferred spot, and you can curse the other healer for taking it. But if you're leaving groups over not having east when you're west or not having west when you're east, you're a complete waste of space. Just get on back there. Figure out how to do both. And if you have an adjustment period because you haven't done one and you went to the wrong spot, nobody's gonna light up in flames because you're literally learning to do the other one so that you guys can get the clear. And that's something to be happy about. One other thing, light parties. Light parties are pretty much set in stone when you do your clock spots. Almost always. And people don't understand that, and it really drives me bonkers. So, for light parties, usually, in most cases anyways, it'll be like group 1 north, group 2 south, or group 1 west, group 2 east, right? So if your clock spot, let's just use healer as an example, is west, why the heck would you go to group 2, right? You're going to spend half the fight on the left side of the boss, and then you're going to go to the right side of the boss for the light parties. That absolutely makes no sense, and you're losing damage for no reason. And that's true, that holds true for every clock spot, except for tanks. If you're on southwest, why would you go to group 2? It's bananas. Group 1 should be northwest, west, and southwest every single time. Group 2 should be northeast, east, and southeast every single time. Unless a fight has a very specific mechanic that involves mixing things up, which so far none of them do. If you're on the left, you should be in group 1, and if you're on the right, you should be in group 2. I think that standing, it makes sense that tanks, main tank should be 1 and off tank should be 2, but tanks, you do your tank stuff the way you want to do it and nobody's going to complain. Except maybe the other tank, of course. But it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the other night, let me tell you, I think we sat trying to do assignments for nearly 8 minutes because a tank took northeast, and then a ranged took southeast, and then the melee was like, you all need to move, and nobody was moving. Like, get it together, guys. Come on. We all want to do the same thing. We're all here to clear, and we're all here to get loot. So let's try and make things easier on each other, because we have to play together if we choose to do Party Finder. So y'all may as well learn how things work, why they work the way they do, and why it's better, and then learn to appreciate it. Alrighty. Thanks again. Bye-bye.